Classic horror movie.
The guy's got a hockey stick in his office.
And gloves.
And he put his gloves on, too.
He's really ready for a fight.
Well, I mean, you can't fight a zombie without symbolically dropping the gloves first.
Looks like he's keeping the gloves on.
Maybe he's going to use the hockey stench.
Is that guy a zombie?
I think so. There was somebody listed on the credits as zombie
It's
anarchist.
my lucky day.
He dropped the gloves.
Yeah.
I think that's Kelly Chase.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He even had some spoken lines. I kind of thought that he and Barry Melrose would be like walking down a street and somebody took like a cell phone video of them and then just like clipped it into the movie.
It's probably helped. There was a quote that Barry said, "This is the best movie he's been in since Mr. Alaska."
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Booze, Bullshit, and B-Movies podcast. We're happy to have you with us again as we dive to the depths of the streaming services to find entertainment in unlikely places. I'm Brandon, and I'm joined, as always, by my buddy Steve.
Hey, everybody.
And this week, we have a special guest.
We do. Joining us this week is my daughter, Emma. Emma is a freshman at Arizona State right now, plays on their ACHA D1 hockey team, who is currently ranked 7th in the country. Emma's been playing hockey since she was 9 years old. Won a national championship in 2001 as a U16 AA, scoring the game-winning goal in OT. So she is serving as our hockey expert tonight.
Hi, everyone.
And yeah, so the movie we have selected for this evening is called Ahockalypse, and Emma's resume that you just laid out makes her a perfect guest to give us a real hockey player's take on what they would do in a zombie apocalypse.
Not quite sure where I would go with this, but probably just die.
Well, we'll see. I've seen you get feisty out there on the ice a few times.
A good cross-check in the throat will decapitate a zombie.
That's
Then
true.
maybe I'm very prepared for this.
I think you are.
So, Steve, like I said, we're going to watch Ahockalypse tonight. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, Ahockalypse was released August of 2018. It's got a running time of 1 hour and 19 minutes, so well within our 90-minute max. Budget, all I could find was low. And absolutely there was no budget or box office information on this one. And in fact, this one did not have a ton of information about anything. So we're going to kind of go into this with a lot of unknowns. So the genre of this one is the horror, comedy, zombie. I suppose you could throw a sport movie in there. It's directed by Wayne Harry Johnson Jr. I'm not sure if that's a goofy name for this sort of endeavor, but we'll see. He was listed as directing Beware the Watchers, which was a short film in 2010, and The Horror, which I suppose is about this long, in 2017. His co-writer on this was Craig Patrick, and it was Craig's first endeavor into film writing. We'll see what that goes, and you're going to see a trend here in a minute, Brandon, when I go through these stars. Pretty much none of them have been in anything that you've ever heard of or would want to hear of. Quite a few, this is their very first professional acting gig. Some have been in some YouTubes and shorts and stuff like that, but pretty much a bunch of discoveries, so to speak.
Well, hopefully they've been discovered.
Well, they will be here in about an hour and 19 minutes. Jesse Renicki plays Jonesy, who is our lead character. Alex Glick is Wave. Squall Charlson is BJ. Kaylee Williams is a dual performer in this as Jenny and Zombitch.
Ooh.
Gabrielle...
That's a lot of range.
Yes. Gabrielle Aerosmith is Mrs. Johnson, who I believe is playing the Mrs. Robinson type part in this particular flick. Mason Hendricks as Swede. And then we get to our A-listers in this particular film. We have Barry Melrose, former LA Kings head coach and current TV hockey commentator. So, there's some little star power in there for the hockey. And then Kelly Chase, who is a former NHLer, was in the NHL Enforcer movie Goon, where they kind of a documentary about how these guys go about that role on the hockey on the ice. So Kelly's claim to fame here. He played more than 11 seasons total, but 11 seasons or portions thereof in the NHL. Bounced up and down between the minors and the NHL quite a bit over those 11 seasons, and then, a couple here and there prior to that. So he played a total of 484 games, including playoff games. Scored a whopping 18 goals. But his claim to fame, 2,117 penalty minutes.
That's 5 minutes a game almost.
Yeah, it's like 5.6. And it equates to 35.28 total 60-minute games sat in the penalty box.
Yeah.
Emma, what's your reaction to that?
That just sounds like every single boy on my high school hockey team.
What do you think the over-under is on the 79-minute movie? How much of that time is Barry Melrose going to be on the screen? More than 10 seconds or less than 10 seconds?
I'm going to give him a tight 15 seconds.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 9 seconds.
All right. Steve's taking the over. Emma's taking the under.
What are you taking, Brandon?
I think I'm going under.
Kelly Chase, who knows? I'm sure he's going to be similar screen time as Barry.
I didn't realize that Goon movie was a documentary.
Well, there's one that's documentary and there's one that's not, and I get the two of them confused.
No. Maybe I'm thinking of the other one then.
Yeah, there's two different movies about enforcers, and one's Goon, and I cannot remember the name of it right now. The one that I haven't seen both of them. I've seen one, and I think that's the one I can't remember the name of. It's, it interviews like Scott Parker, who played for the Avalanche when in the early 2000s, who was their enforcer and still lives in town here, but dude's in bad physical shape from all the blows to the head and,
sure,
and all the fights that he did. It's eye-opening to what these guys that are not making, they're not making Nathan McKinnon money out there to get their heads beat in every night. The enforcer's got a role in the game, but that role has been diminished lately.
Probably for the better.
Although sometimes you got to go out there and knock some heads. So that's the laws of the game there. I could not find a tagline on Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb or any of the other movie database sites for this particular one. No Eins Fi Die, nothing like that. So maybe we can give it our own at the end here.
We may be the first people to really bring this movie out into the public zeitgeist.
I think we're going to extend the reach here with our 13 followers. So, fun facts: there were not many on this one. There was the first movie to combine hockey and zombies as a creative concept. It was shot in Austin, Minnesota, which is about an hour and 40 minutes south of Minneapolis. So you could watch the movie and watch the two shorts for rare exports and still not be from Minneapolis to Austin. So
one thing I don't know if you are aware of about Austin, Minnesota, is that it's the home of Spam.
I did not know that.
They have a 14,000 square foot museum dedicated to Spam in Austin, Minnesota.
Now I know where I'm going for spring break.
Sweet. Emma's played a lot of hockey in Minnesota. I don't believe she has played in Austin, Minnesota. So.
If not.
It's right on I-90.
35,
west of Rochester.
Right? 35 south to I-90?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
We'll be driving through there in a couple days.
Oh. Please take a picture for the podcast in front of the Spam Museum.
I can't think of the name. I did see the name of the arena they played at, but I can't think of what it is right now.
Okay.
There is an NAHL team, at least in 2018, that played in Austin, Minnesota. And the players on that team play the role of the hockey players.
The skating roles?
The skating roles, yeah.
Excellent. No, that's a mission goal there. You need to get a picture in front of the Spam Museum. That would be awesome. We know what everyone's getting for Christmas gifts this year. Okay, so let's go into our reviews. And again, I had to look high and low to get these damn reviews. Shane Mulvihill from Fanboy Nation says, it quickly veers back and forth in quality. One outrageous scene that works, followed by one outrageous scene that flops. Considering that the bulk of Ahockalypse cast are making their acting debut here, the acting throughout is pretty solid. No one stands out for their over or under acting, but rather each of the actors contributes some slice of comedic brilliance that serves to shine the ice, says Jenny Blue of CrypticRock.com. Brian Fitzgerald of FitsofHorror.com says, If you're looking for a fun movie to watch by yourself or with some friends, Ahockalypse is it. If you're looking for a unique and gory horror movie, Ahockalypse is it. If you're looking for an original zombie movie in a sea of been there, done that zombie movies, Ahockalypse is it.
Well, that's a pretty glowing review.
Those are, but not all the reviews were quite so glowing. Michael Gingold of Rue Morgue says, the only thing worse than a terrible horror film is a terrible horror comedy, because those you can't even laugh at. That's Ahockalypse all over. A staggeringly unfunny mix of sports and zombies that qualifies only as an 80-minute foul. Now, he could have shown his sports knowledge and said penalty, but...
Sounds like we're in for a real treat there.
Or an 80-minute minor. That would be... Or would that be a major?
I think I would go with the major.
Okay, I'd go with the major too. And then James Swift of Wicked Horror says, 2 of my all-time favorite movies both came from the late 70s and coincidentally were directed by guys named George. Dawn of the Dead and Slapshot. Unfortunately, Ahockalypse isn't the brilliant fusion of gloriously un-PC hockey humor and satirical zombie blood and guts that I had hoped for. That doesn't mean it's without a few decent moments, but by and large, this is one sports comedy horror hybrid that just plain misses the net.
And to follow up on the thing I couldn't remember a couple minutes ago, the movie was filmed at Riverside Arena in Austin, Minnesota, home of the Austin Bruins.
Interesting.
And parts of it, I guess, were also filmed in Hudson, Wisconsin. I read that earlier, too. And one of the actors, I believe it is Alex Gallick, is from Luck, Wisconsin, where I have heard they have a very nice golf course.
Is that near your area?
No, it's up more toward the Twin Cities area.
Brandon, you want to give us the plot summary?
So the brief summary of this brief movie is that the Prairie Kings hockey team battle for their league championship and their lives all in one night. The boys win the cup only to find out that a zombie apocalypse has happened. They then have to battle their way to their home arena for a final showdown with the zombies. Can Barry Melrose help them escape with their lives, or is it sudden death for Jonesy and the boys?
Dun, dun, dun. Well, on that summary, I think we should go watch this movie. It's available on Tubi for free with ads, or if you feel like giving them $5, jump on Prime and sign your life away. So
I think we should do that, but first, with what I'm getting from the vibe of this movie, we're going to have to stop at the bar and grab a drink first.
Definitely.
Okay, Steve, I know that you and your family are deeply ingrained in the youth and amateur hockey scene, and I understand that you have a drink here that is also very important to that community. So, what are we drinking?
Well, it's partially important. The one of the main ingredients seems to be pretty important on the hockey mom side of things. But we're going to incorporate it tonight because we're equal opportunity drinkers. So we're going to do the Pink Whitney Lemonade Martini. However, I didn't feel like schlepping martini glasses over here, so we're going to make it a Collins.
Sounds good.
We're going to call it audible here. For this cocktail, you need lemon juice, simple syrup, limoncello, and Pink Whitney vodka. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces of lemon juice. Pour this into our cocktail shaker since it is citrus.
This is a hotly debated topic on this podcast.
There's our lemon juice, 1 ounce of simple syrup, and then we do 1/2 ounce of limoncello, and then 1.5 ounces of the Pink Whitney.
Now, what is the Pink Whitney? What's the flavor of that?
It's a grapefruit vodka.
Yeah.
College in a bottle.
There we have all of our ingredients. We're going to add some ice to the shaker. Shake it for about 20 seconds, something like that. And if you're following the recipe, you're going to put it into a chilled martini glass. I'm going to pour it into our Collins glasses on the rocks here. And we're going to taste it like this, and then we might throw a little soda on there to make it an actual Collins. And garnish with some lemon. And there we have the Pink Whitney Martini Collins.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. That is sweet.
That is very sweet.
So, yeah. You might want to dial the simple syrup back a little bit, or use straight up regular simple syrup, not the semi-sweet that I have.
Yeah, luckily I am a big fan of what people tend to call girly drinks. I mean, this tastes like something that I could just sit down and have in place of a glass of lemonade.
Precisely. And it's pretty low alcohol, so you could probably slam a couple of these per period at the hockey game while make watching U8 hockey tolerable. So now we just added our little soda to colonize it, so to speak. Since hockey comes from the colony of Canodia.
And decolonize your martinis.
Ooh, that takes the edge off. That's nice.
It is better that way.
I like it. Alrighty, so there we have it. The Pink Whitney Lemonade Martini Allens. Enjoy.
Perfect. This is the part where we watch the movie.
Thank God that's over.
All right, Steve and Emma, we just finished watching Ahockalypse. So to go through the storyline very quickly,
Yes, please.
we started out with this hockey team. They are playing the championship game
Prairie
for
Kings.
the Prairie Kings for whatever league they're in, and they've won the championship.
Yay, Prairie Kings.
They go back to their hotel room. They head back to the Motel 6, the Red Roof Inn, or wherever they're staying, and they're doing a little after party. Some beer bongs, doing some shots, and then the zombie apocalypse breaks out. From there, basically what we end up with is just one kind of shitty fight scene after another.
Yeah.
All filmed in the dark.
Yeah, all in the dark, and you can't see it. And I understand that compression ratios with streaming services make things look darker than they appear. This was fucking black.
Well, and they clearly did that on purpose so that they wouldn't have to spend any money on costumes or makeup, and they could
lighting.
And they could just have people standing in the dark going, and just that's a zombie.
I thought it was a good old Kelly Chase's. He was in the opening scene as some sort of executive in an office and fought off a zombie for a bit. He had a nice scene there. Our NHL enforcer.
So they bounce around from the Red Roof Inn to a parking lot to some sort of a dance club to more parking lots to someone's house.
Yep.
And it's just sort of, there are zombies running around. There is some pretty terrible dialogue.
There are stolen lines from other movies that is supposed to be tongue-in-cheek and funny. And some of them were.
And they're trying to make their way back to the hockey arena for some reason because they feel like that's the safest place they could be.
Yes, that's their home.
They have an engagement party where the one woman, for whatever reason, will not give up on Jonesy proposing marriage to her.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then her dad, who is a zombie, grabs her, drags her in the house, and turns her into a zombie. And then she reappears with dozens of other zombies at the arena as Zombitch.
Yes, the leader of the zombies.
So they eventually do make their way back to the arena where they have a final
Got a montage.
montage with the other, 100 zombies that are left. They're hacking heads off with goalie sticks. They're shooting hockey pucks into people's heads, and somehow that kills the zombie. And then the movie ends.
Good.
Well, no, and then they're looking to get to the UP because for some reason everybody has to go to the UP to be safe. And who is driving the tour bus because there wasn't enough room in any of the cars for everybody? Oh, we forgot about the mascots. The mascot and the two Chinese chicks running around doing kung fu and everything.
2 women of East Asian descent
It says in the damn thing they're Chinese.
and the mascot are running around, and they are practitioners of some sort of martial art, and they are able to just beat the shit out of any zombie they come across.
Yes. And I say that with all due respect because their character names are Badass Bitches 1 and 2. And they go through kicking ass.
And you're right. So then at the end of the movie, they're trying to find their way from Austin, Minnesota to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And Barry Melrose drives up in a bus.
Yep. And I won the over because he was on the screen for at least 20 seconds.
And he presumably drives them off to Michigan through the entire state of Wisconsin.
Yep.
To safety.
Wisconsin's not safe enough.
God bless Barry Melrose.
But they would have had to pass, if they were leaving Austin, Minnesota, and going to the UP, they would have certainly had to go through Tomah, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and that's got its own set of obstacles. Maybe get stuck in a cranberry bog.
All right, so we have now, in this podcast, watched Thanksgiving, Wrong Cops, Dead Snow, There's Something in the Barn, and Rare Exports.
And yes.
And now we're on to Ahockalypse. Where do you rate this on your scale? First, hang on, Steve.
Okay.
Before you give your rating,
yes.
Emma, what'd you think of this movie?
Yeah, let's let our guest reviewer...
All I say is it's a good thing I don't have to watch that again. I don't know what I rate it, though. I'll give it a 1.5.
Well, yeah, for sure. This movie sucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a first time effort by these guys, so hey, it's better than any movie I've ever made.
So that's the thing. Watching this sort of movie, I have to sit there and think there is no way that you and I or any other two idiots in the world couldn't make something equally shitty that ends up on Tubi and someone has to pay $1 to watch it.
That's true.
What this movie made me want to do is never stop for gas in Minnesota ever again.
But you're going to have to stop at the Spam Museum when you're in Minnesota next time.
I don't even want to.
You have to. It's a moral imperative.
Yeah, it's required. It's your duties to the podcast world.
That's right. We need some swag from the Spam Emporium.
I do kind of want to stop at the Spam Museum, though, just to ask them if they sell the Spam that the Russians wanted in World War II. I'm curious about that.
Yeah. Maybe they'll give you a free plane ride to Hawaii.
That is interesting, because Hawaiian folks do love Spam.
They love it.
And I did do a little research.
And Emma likes it, too.
Well, so
right.
The people that make the Spam say that it is made of pork shoulder and ham.
And spices.
It's not like the scrapings that you take off the floor at the butchery.
Lips and hooves.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it and make like a Spam fried rice once in a while. It's pretty good.
I don't think I've ever had Spam before. Well, except for we have the one, Ben, our Hawaiian friend, who makes Spam musubi. But other than that, never had it.
You need to broaden your horizons, young man.
I should. Check it out sometime.
We'll have it at the Spam Museum.
So I'm going to give it a lower shelf rating as well. Good effort. I love the hockey theme. But we needed more hockey and more blood.
And I will agree that this movie was bad. But, I'll give it a one shelf, whatever, bottom shelf. This movie sucked.
Yeah.
I would never watch this movie again. I wish the people that made it had found something else to do with their time. And I'm not a huge fan of Minnesota, I guess, because I'm from Wisconsin. But this was bad for even Minnesota.
Yeah. You know what? I think a few of the background actors in it seem to maybe have a little bit of talent. A few of them.
It'd be hard to tell because it was so dark out. How would you know?
That's true. But I think girl number 3 seemed like, that was the best character in the damn movie.
Yes.
Except for the mascot. The mascot was good.
The mascot was good. Girl number 3 had some good ideas. She was the smartest character they had. But this movie was trash.
Yep. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
We did find it interesting that the mascot that they used for the Prairie Kings was the actual mascot for the
Austin
Bruin Tier 2 junior team in the town of Austin, Minnesota. So it's kind of cool that they let them use at least the head of the mascot.
Yeah, somebody's got to know somebody there because, they don't unlock the door for you.
If you pay your $300 an hour for the ice time, they'll unlock the damn door.
That's probably true.
Okay, Brandon, you've got a rant. What is it?
Well, it's not really a rant. It's just something that kind of irritates me because, with the holiday season, I've spent more time in stores lately than I have generally.
Yes.
Usually an online shopper. So, today, I went to Safeway just to pick up a couple groceries, and there were these two people who were at the self-checkouts, and I was trying to use the self-checkout, as like a call to action, I guess, for society, if you're going to use the self-checkout, have a sense of urgency.
Yes.
You know, like,
agreed.
I don't care if you've got like 50 things in your cart or 2 things in your cart. However long it takes you is fine. As long as you're kind of like busting your ass to get it done.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, because I was there, and these 2 folks were using 2 of the registers, and the other 2 were not working. The customer service guy got one of them fixed, and he said to me, you know, go ahead and use this one. So I did. I scanned my 4 items, and the 2 people that were already there were down to the insert your card point, and I still beat them out the door.
Well, you are quick.
I am very quick because I take it seriously, and I want to get the hell out of there.
He also wants a
Now, in their defense, were they 95 years old?
No.
Okay.
No, they were folks probably around 50-ish, not...
Because I am around 50-ish, and I stopped in Safeway today, and I was by far the youngest person in the damn store.
So that's just my thing for the day. If you're going to use the self-checkout, at least make it look like you're putting in the effort to get shit done. Because, you know, there are other people in the line behind you, and we all haven't taken our Adderall today.
Fair enough. Is that why you had a shot of the, what was the name of that? Of the Santa snot? Before you went to the store?
The Salmiakki Koskan Korva.
That's the one.
So I guess that will do it for tonight's episode. We appreciate everyone tuning in. All 6 or 8 or 10 of you.
Maybe 13. Well,
Maybe.
No. It would have to be 11 because I think you and I both follow. So
we are up to 13 Spotify followers, including ourselves.
Yes. So hopefully welcome to the new folks. Drop us a line, as Brandon says. There are links in all those bios. I think this will come out after Christmas. So hope you had a good holiday and ate plenty and didn't kill any family members.
And look forward to more of this in 2024.
Excellent. Have a great time. You can watch this if you really must on Tubi or Prime, but we really can't recommend this.
No, please don't watch this movie.
This is worse than Wrong Cops.
Absolutely don't watch.
With that, see ya.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Steve.
Y'all take... So stay fresh, cheese balls. Emma.
Yeah.
Oh, it reminds me of you seen the movie The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis?
Yep.
The part where the Chris Tucker character is trying to get him like excited for the trip that he won, and Bruce Willis is just like thrilled.